Okay, and how many of these projects are from LinkedIn, either outbound or cold emailing?
So as of now, 70% of my clients, the clients that I have currently, are
Hmm.
from LinkedIn, and
Okay,
the rest
okay.
are from Twitter. So I'm basically focusing on these two platforms only right now. And LinkedIn was the one that I started with, LinkedIn and Instagram. And when I saw that LinkedIn was more suitable for me, for my um, target audience. So
Right.
I just shifted there fully. And Instagram, I'm still active, but not that much. Like
Right,
I
right. I
am there, but not.
understand. Sometimes it happens that you can try tend to consume more on Instagram. This
Yeah,
might be
I
the
did.
problem.
And consuming is not really the problem. The problem with me was that as a freelancer, you are like an entrepreneur handling your business yourself, right? Like an independent person.
Right.
So you are juggling so many things together, and then you are creating content on so many platforms. The content just overwhelms the person. So I just
Right, right.
try to focus on specific platforms where I can drive the most growth.
Got it. And okay. Then in the session, I we would be wrapping it like unwrapping it, that how you got clients from LinkedIn and what worked
Yeah,
for you, what didn't work, then everything about your
yeah,
story. Okay, so
yeah,
we have some people around, so I guess we can get started with the session.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the people would join in soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so
Hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I am Harshada, and today we have Shreya Pandey with us. Hi Shreya, how are you doing?
hi Harshita, I'm doing great, and I hope the same for everybody. Super excited to address everybody's questions in this session and talk about LinkedIn. So I hope everybody found this useful, and it will surely be a value-packed session.
Right, definitely, definitely. So in this session, we will be talking about like as you can see on the screen, we will be talking about how you can build your LinkedIn profile specifically to attract clients. But there
Yeah,
can be different reasons to make a LinkedIn profile and
of
different ways
course.
to make it. But today, it would be specifically around how to make it client friendly, your profile, your content, everything. And we would be going step by step of how you did it for yourself and how we
Yeah,
can do it for ourselves as well.
yeah,
Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, we can go through the PPT, and if we have like any questions in between, I will keep you notified for that.
of course, of course. So first of
Great.
all, LinkedIn, as we know, it's a professional platform where over 40 million users are there, and 57 million registered companies are there. So if you're a freelancer, it's a great place to empower your brand, grow your personal brand, and share your content and your stories and your work with the world. It's like a free platform. It has a premium version as well. And freelancers, when they are starting out, or they are in the intermediate phase, or they are in their advanced phase, connecting to new people through LinkedIn is a very streamlined process. That's just if you adapt to it, and if recognize their algorithm and what's working for you, it can be really a driving force behind your business. So when I started LinkedIn, of course, I didn't have this kind of guidance. So I went through everything step by step. I made mistakes, and then I, scratched that, and then I started again. I failed again and started again. So it was a long process. So how does LinkedIn actually help me, and it can help you as well as a freelancer? Is obviously it can act as your portfolio. So there are many posts on LinkedIn that are hiring freelancers. So if they ask for your portfolio sometimes, and maybe you don't have a website, or you don't have links to your work, you can just you know share your LinkedIn profile with them and show that this is my portfolio. You can check out my work here also, and it acts as a free portfolio which also has other aspects of your personality um, reflected on it. Like through your posts, the person can find out how are you to work with, what is your story. So kind of a storytelling thing for your brand. So next, you can apply to freelance gigs both via the job section and through the posts of potential leads. So LinkedIn is a platform which has filters, search bar, and your own main feed, just like Instagram, Twitter, or any other thing, any other social media platform. So for freelance gigs, the first thing when I started LinkedIn, was I knew that there are jobs there. Like people post their requirements and companies post their requirements for new recruits there. So it has this search feature. When you go to the job section, you can customize it yourself. So if I'm looking for, say, SaaS B2B freelance content writer job, I'll just put it SaaS B2B freelance content writer in the job section. Now, if I want to narrow it down to, suppose I want clients from only the UK, I can type out UK in the location section. If I want someone who had just posted this requirement 24 hours ago, I can just select the options from 24 hours ago, a week ago, a month ago, or before that. Now, if I want it to be from a specific, company, you can also choose that. There are filters, advanced filters, which let you do that, which we'll talk about after this. So the third point is the advanced and basic search that will give you more access to global connections. The search bar of LinkedIn, it's a very indispensable tool that you can use in a lot of different ways. Some of them are, firstly, connecting with your fellow freelancers. Obviously, freelancers is a community, right? So you need to connect with the people who are already acing it in the game, who are new, so you can gain perspective from all sides and just get an idea of what's going on in your industry. Like you can get daily updates by following those people. So building a community is first thing. Second thing, through basic search, you can find your potential clients. Suppose if you are a video editor and you are looking for work, if you just type out hiring video editors or hiring content writers or hiring just and screenplay writers, anything you type out, and you see instantly see an array of posts, people come out through that search. And that's just not all. You can even filter that out to your specific requirements on LinkedIn. This is a basic search. You just type out something and you find your match. The next thing is the advanced search. So advanced search for LinkedIn is just like Google. If you put something in comma, suppose content, comma, after that writer. So you'll see typing content writer. So no other freelancing gig will come to you. And if you type SaaS writer, hiring SaaS writer, but SaaS is a comma. So only SaaS companies that are hiring SaaS writer will come out, like the people who have in their bio like SaaS writer, that will come out. And even beyond that, you can use the advanced search to find companies and communities related to your industry. So, suppose I'm looking for a group where I can find fellow freelancers. I can select it from the filter section, go to the groups, or I can type writers group, editors group, freelancers group. So the search bar is something that increases your approach all over the world. You can expand your connections, and you can just find a great fit for you, the ideal clients that you are looking for just by going through those. And even you can search posts by typing out the keywords. So if you are looking for someone who just talked about, say, COVID-19, you will type COVID-19 and articles related to it, posts related to it will come in the results. So that is what search bar is. It's a a great tool on LinkedIn, which you can use to learn anything and everything about people, about companies, and what's going on right now. The last, of course, the community building platform. Something about LinkedIn is you get to post every day. You can post twice a day. You can post twice a week or every day in the week, and you can comment with on the posts of other people, engage with them, like their posts, give them different kind of reactions on their posts, and even pick up a part of their post and connect with them through it, and tell them that, oh, I like this part of your post, and I really want to talk to you more about it and connect with you, vibe with you. And it's just like something you do on Instagram and Twitter, but in a more formal way, which builds your brand in the same direction. So yeah, community building is a great thing that you can practice on LinkedIn. Now, in the next slide, how to create LinkedIn profile that attracts clients. So for anything, you need a buyer persona. You need to know who is the person you are looking for. So to create a buyer persona, there is this very good free tool by HubSpot. create free buyer persona. You can use that. All you have to do is follow their direction, and you will have your ideal client in your digital form. Okay. So once you find him, her, select keywords. So keyword is something like the specific words that you will be focusing the most on in your profile. So for me, when I'm creating my LinkedIn profile, I'm a content writer, specifically B2B SaaS content writer. My keywords will be freelance content writer, SaaS content writer, B2B SaaS content writer, climate change writer. So these are my keywords. You need to have at least four keywords. It's good to have four because you can then have more appearance on the searches of these keywords. And the third thing is how you are going to use your profile. So is it to build your business? Is it to just build a community? Is it to give consultation calls to freelancers? So have a goal, have a purpose. Don't create mindless content. Keep creating in batches. Second point, the profile picture. The problem with profile pictures on LinkedIn is when freelancers are creating profile on it, they cannot put out any picture on it. Like they cannot put a selfie on it. Like you can, obviously they will not stop you, but it will affect your growth on the platform. So the best profile picture that you can choose for yourself is a portrait picture, smiling, not very serious, or a full picture where your face is visible at least. And if you're putting anything else on your profile picture, just make sure that it relates to your brand. But the basic standard is to put a portrait picture, a good portrait picture which is clear. The next thing, create an all-star profile. So, just like we said, LinkedIn is a great platform for building brands, but you also need to know that it's not um, free of hard work. You have to do the hard work to get there, like to be featured in your industry and be featured on Google searches. All-star profile is when you add all your information, like each and every section, the about section, the header, the services section in your profile, and leave no section, lacking information. So make sure you do this. This is the first thing that you will be required to do in order to complete your profile wholly and to be visible on searches by your clients. The fourth thing, ensure that you put only relevant information to what you use on the profile. For example, content writers need not show their singing or drawing skills on the profile. So sometimes when you are creating the profile, you want to show all your talents to the people on LinkedIn, the companies, because it will attract them. But some things that are relevant to your work should be omitted. Like if I am a video editor, nobody needs to, know that I write. Or you, if you write, don't glorify it. Like don't mention it everywhere. The prime thing that should be visible on your profile, like once a person visits your profile, the one thing that should be present on it is that you are a video editor first. You are a freelancer first. After that, anything else. So make sure only the content that your client is, relatable, relating with or connecting with is present on your profile. Please next slide, Harshita. Okay. So now you have created a profile, but you cannot add anything in it that is, not having a sense or not focusing on keywords or not focusing on your brand. So this is called optimization. Just like we optimize our websites or optimize our blogs, we optimize our LinkedIn profile. It's called LinkedIn optimization. So we need to optimize each and every part to make sure that your profile stands out from others in the industry and you have a competitive edge and a unique identity. First thing, cover photo and profile picture. Like we said, the profile picture should be a portrait. As you can see, my face is visible. I'm smiling. I'm a writer, so I'm holding a book. So it directly relates to my brand. Okay. The next thing, the cover photo. Cover photos are easily, present. You can find the templates on the Canva, and you can just edit that to your liking. And if you have the talent, you can create your own. It's a very basic. It does not need to be a complex graphic embedded design. The simple colors of your brand. So first thing, you have to choose a header for the cover photo. So for me, it was B2B SaaS brands, which I'm writing for. So I wrote helping B2B SaaS brand create concise, data-driven blogs that get target audience hooked to the content. So this was my header. You can say if you are a white paper writer, you write white papers. You can say I write white papers that provide the relevant information to the to your target audience, or I edit videos that that get your audience that get your brand imprinted on your mind, on the mind of the audience. Next thing, you can mention what you do. So I didn't want to mention what I do, so I mentioned my achievements. But before this, my cover was, it was mentioning my services, blogs, long form content, press releases, and things like that. But if I didn't find it very useful, so I'm now presenting my achievements on my platform, and you can do that in the same way. Just make sure everything has enough space, everything is readable, and it is not too clumpy. Like your content should not be something that is confusing the visitor. Okay, you can move to the next slide, Rashita.
Right, and even putting the header clean, it would actually
Yeah,
focus on main things that you are trying to present, like your heading, your profile
of
photo.
course.
Everything would be
And
standing out,
I yeah,
and also like putting up a CTA to end of it, like either your email, either book the
yeah,
consultation
yeah,
call or something, would actually get into
yeah. So
people's mind that yeah, this person is available at this
yeah,
address.
so like I put up my email. You can put up
Exactly,
your
yeah.
anything. You can just say DM us and we can chat. Just something that can help them communicate with you.
Right.
Oh,
And what I would say that the color should be something of your brand color if you have that,
yeah, yeah, of
so
course.
that would get into
And one thing
people's
is that
eyes.
many freelancers choose very dark colors that overshadow
Huh.
their write up, their headers and
Right,
everything.
right.
So the color should be light and not heavy on the eyes of the person. They should not strain it. It should be very light. So then
Right.
next thing,
Header.
first obviously your introduction, your header and topics you talk about. So Shreya Pandey, my name, not your name, I'm sorry, Shreya Pandey, I've written. Then you see that microphone icon towards you. So that is the pronunciation of my name. So in the pronunciation, you have two aspects. Either you can just say your name, hi, my name is Shreya Pandey, and it is pronounced whatever way, or you can introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Shreya Pandey. I'm a B2B SaaS content writer. Feel free to reach out to me on my given email. Many people choose the second way because in this way, if someone is not going through their whole profile, they are at least listening to what they do. And if they find it and thrilling enough, they'll just DM the person. Next thing, the header in my cover photo was a more, snappy one, zappy one. So the next thing in the header of the profile, the text header, it should mention your clear service, like freelance content writer for B2B SaaS brand in commerce, SEO, marketing, and productivity. Blog writer, long form content writer. So now you see one thing. These are also all my keywords that I am creating my profile from. B2B SaaS brands, freelance content writer, blog writer, long form content writer. These are my keywords. So if you choose your keywords wisely, they will work out everywhere in your profile, and the person, if they even just look at one part of your profile, they'll know what you do. So it should be clear, concise, and not talk about anything irrelevant in this header. Next thing, LinkedIn keeps rolling out new features. So its recent features was you can add hashtags and the topics that you talk about in your profile. So for me, it was copywriting, freelancing, content writer, freelance writer, and freelance copywriter, because that's what I was doing when I added this section 2 to 3 months ago. I have to keep renewing it. And the next thing is, of course, location. So location plays a very big role in the introduction part of your profile. Previously, if my location was UK London, even if you are not you know, uh, living in UK London, you can do that. But after sometimes you'll find that you are getting traction from UK people, but that fades away after time. So the best thing is to put your original location and connect with people globally, and they, in this way, they know where you are living, right? They are not being astray, like where does she goes. If you think you are living in UK, maybe they will contact you to meet them, so that would be a blunder. So make sure you put the location very wisely. So that's for the header and topic. Now you can move to the next slide. Okay, so services page. Services page is something that is very an advanced feature on LinkedIn. It was also introduced recently. In this, you can mention everything that you do. You can do for the client in a little bit detail, but not much. It's 500 characters long. You can add the services you provide, and you can also optimize it obviously as per the keywords. And now this section can also be used as a kind of uh, just a minute. Yeah, sorry, as a kind of the exchange platform for freelancers. So the client can send you the assignment, you can accept it, and you can, after accepting it, when once you are done with the assignment, the client will give you reviews. This is a new feature, so keep in mind when you are doing that. The next thing is, while adding these services, you should have to know that only these number of services can be added. So these are like 7 services that I've added: copywriting, writing, ghost writing, blogging, editing, SEO, and content marketing. Yours can be anything related to your brand, and SMM, social media manager, social media handling, anything. In the next about section of this, what I mentioned is, hi, my name is Shavanya. I'm a B2B SaaS writer. I have written 300 plus blogs, 3000 plus blogs. One of my pages ranks on the first page of Google. So if you're looking for a content copywriter, shoot a query in my DM. This is a very straightforward call to action, and the person just knows what they have to do now. You are giving them a a direction to where to go next. So if they're finding it enticing, they can shoot a query in your DM, or they can just give you the assignment from this section. You can move to the next.
So you have a short about us
No,
comparatively.
this about us is not. That about us is different. That's what I'm saying. LinkedIn keeps rolling new features. It just recently launched many features. This
अच्छा.
about us is just for my service page. So if someone
Okay,
types
okay.
in the
अच्छा,
search
ठीक है.
box, B2B SaaS writer service page, this will come up.
Got it, yeah.
Yeah. So featured section. A featured section is where you feature your top work, be it your post on LinkedIn that gets the most likes or comments or engagement, or just as a portfolio for your work. So for me, I have mentioned many things, but my top three are the blogs that I wrote that everyone can see. Everyone of my ideal clients can see once they visit my profile. You in this also, you can add description. So when you are adding the link to this section, make sure that your description uh, you know describes why you added it very succinctly. So suppose I've written code red for humanity. So I've written my article about climate change published on the Climate Conscious magazine. The person knows, okay, this was an article she wrote and it was published. In the same way, if C. So if C, I have just added the description of that article. The title is already present, and I have added the description of the article, so the person knows what it's about. And the list of featured section can go as long as you want, but you need to add only relevant content. So if some link is taken off, it's no longer present, you have to remove it from the featured section as well. Otherwise, your reach on LinkedIn will be affected. So yeah. Okay. Next slide, Harshita. Now, the about section that Harshita said that we were talking about. This section is the most important part of content that you can put in LinkedIn. You have to keep it very optimized, and you have to know that even though you are getting a lot of word limit in this one, you don't need to add unnecessary data. Like you don't need to tell your 10th class marks or 12th class marks. You need to tell about the service that you are catering on this platform. For me, it was obviously freelance content writing for SaaS brands. So I started with it. Hey there, the introduction can be very short one. Hey there, hi there. Um, I'm a freelance content writer and copywriter for SaaS brands in marketing, SEO, and commerce. So as you open my about, if the person does say it's too long and does not want to read it, till she is ready to read the first few lines. Instantly, the first line is, I'm a freelance content writer. This is my keyword. Now the person sees it and they know that, okay, she's a freelance content writer. So if they are looking for me, or the kind of person in the industry, they know they can contact me. The next thing is, I'm describing myself. So the first part, describe the service. The second part, describe the journey in very short, like where you worked, how it started, and everything. After that, what you have to do is tell your achievement. So for me, it was, so far I've written how much work I have done till now, and then in bullet points I've mentioned everything newsworthy in my writing journey. After that, you are mentioning the services specifically, like blogs, articles, website content, and product descriptions and everything that my service is. So case studies. What is my niche? So even though I've mentioned I write for SaaS B2B brands, the next thing is who I write for. I've mentioned it in a more detailed form, B2B brands in marketing, productivity, etc. And the last thing that really intrigues the person is to tell them why they should work with you. So tell them how you are helping them. And remember, the focus should be them and not you. So I wrote helping you build a consistent brand voice and resonate with your target audience, be better or get better organic reach through keyword research, metadata, and competitor research through RFs, answer the public, etc. So I'm basically telling them my working process. In this way, they know how I will be working, what they will be getting from me, and which services I provide. And the last thing is introduce your method of communication. So I usually talk to them through LinkedIn or my email. So that is what you can mention, and just end there. Do not drag the about section more. Yeah, you can move to the next slide.
Okay, Shreya, so according to you, do you think we should keep a lengthy about a section or a short one to
Yeah.
the
So
point?
sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah,
So it depends. Actually, when you open the profiles of thought leaders or like CEOs,
hmm.
their about section can be either very, very long or can be very short, like just two lines. But
Right,
for
right.
freelancers, I suggest at least this length, like the length I've used, is the best, because in this way they are telling all the aspects of their work profile, telling about why the person should work with them, what their services are, and what their achievements are. And it's not a very long, as they are using bullet points, and after bullet points, the data becomes more easy to read. So at least this length should be there. But if you're using short one, make sure that it's very, very crisp and very, very unique. Otherwise, the LinkedIn algorithm will not present you on the search of people like your ideal client.
Got it. Yeah. And people who are like slightly known to the uh, persons around there, so they keep it short that everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they keep it short because their goal is not to get ideal clients, right? There is to build a community. They're
Right,
not trying
right.
to rank for
They
keywords.
just create content because they
Yeah,
want to like either market something or either
yeah, yeah.
just want to build your
Just want to
profile
make their presence,
as
yeah,
a
make their
CEO
presence.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing is experience. So this is the most important part if you are trying to impress your client, market your services. You are basically marketing your services without the person knowing. Okay. So the first thing, you obviously tell what your current service is. So if you're a freelancer, as I'm a content writer and copywriter, I mentioned that at the top, so the person knows what she does. The next thing, I mentioned all the companies that I've worked with. I'm working with 18 Media, I'm working with Level Up, I'm working with Pepper Content. So you need to keep in mind that many freelancers just mention the companies they're working with, but miss the description section of these sections as well. Like you can add what you do at the company in the description section. So if you do that, the person who is visiting your profile will know that, oh, she is experienced in this, he is experienced in this, and they have worked at this capacity. So they will know more about you and have more conversations and more connection points with you. So make sure you add relevant experience and the descriptions under it in bulleted point, of course. Don't make it like a paragraph. You can move to the next slide, Harshita. Okay, so actions to attract the target audience. First of all, LinkedIn is not something that you can post in once a month and then just vanish off and come again after being a MIA after 1 month and post again and expect your profile to grow. You need to at least post twice a week. If not, I usually suggest posting at least 5 times a week if you are trying to be active, if you are trying to humanize your freelancing brand, and if you are trying to attract the right people. Okay, so if you post consistently, make sure that you are putting out relevant information to your brand. So content that is about freelancing, your learning, your journey, content related to your niche. So for me, I talk about freelancing. I talk about SaaS B2B. I talk about what I learn every day, like new things that I learned about content writing and news related to SaaS B2B freelancing and in general everything related to my keywords if you want to make it a really easy concept. So you can do the same for your niche. Next thing is commenting engage actively. So commenting is something that helps you get it, enticed by other target audience. So if you are commenting on some big personalities post and someone that you have as a dream client comes in the comment section and sees, oh, this person has put in a very good comment and likes your comment and wants to connect with you, they can easily do that. So make sure you connect to relevant people. Don't comment on everybody's profile. Comment on the relevant ones. So engaging. Engaging is not just commenting. It's just giving your support to the post or just connecting with them, saying hi once in a while, and talking about what you liked about in their profile. Things like that. The next thing, connect with target audience. Obviously, if you are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and you are trying to connect with your target audience, you need to have a presence over their industry as well. So if you connect to heads of, say, if you are a productivity writer and you are talking to heads of the productivity companies, you will already have a good referral list that you can use to get clients. The next thing, send connection request with personal message. What people do is they search on the search bar, the results come, and they just put in the click on the connect section, connect button, and leave it. No, you cannot do that. So while connecting with people, make sure that you are creating a personalized invite. So a very very basic personal invite that every paid and free LinkedIn session will tell you is, hey, how hope you are doing great. I just saw your post about freelancing, hiring freelance writers, and I would love to talk to you about it, and show you my sample. Super, super excited. Regards, whatever your name is. The next thing that you can do is just connect casually. Don't ask for work immediately. Just say hi, how are you? I read your blog on this industry, or I saw your recent achievement and really want to congratulate you and want to connect you and talk to you more about more in this industry. So just a very simple message, as it has a limit. So you have to talk more in less words. You can move to the next section, Harshita. Okay, so how to reach potential clients? Now you know what actions you need to take. Now you need to focus on specifics of it. So first thing, obviously, like I said, if you are looking for freelance gigs, go to the search bar, type hiring freelance writers, your profession. So hiring freelance writers, B2B SaaS, or hiring B2B SaaS freelancers. Like try different combination of the same keyword to find the most number of gigs that are present in the current time frame or in 1 month or 1 week, anything. And you can also use the filters, like I said, use the filters filtering out the countries that you don't want to work in, putting in the countries that you want to work in, the companies, the time, the type of people, the even the third connection, second connection, first connection. And to be clear, first connection is someone who connects to you directly, who sends you a connection request. Second connection is who is a connection of your connection. And third connection is the person who is a connection of your connection of your connection. So it's like a chain link that's connecting everyone on LinkedIn. And now connection requests. So you have a limit of 100 connection requests per week on LinkedIn. So if you're a freelancer and you don't have much time, because of the work of your client, your schedule, your school, your college, anything, you can just send two connection requests to potential clients every day or 4 times a week. You can do that. But when you are doing this, always make sure that you make it work. If you are sending a connection request, even if it takes half hour to frame a good subject line for that connection request, do it. At least you are sending two connection requests, but the results you are seeing are also 100%. The next thing, always try to comment on their profile and catch their attention. So humans' attention span is very low. You need to be present everywhere for them to notice you once. So if someone is your dream client, say, post, comment on every post, even create, a notification on your mobile. Oh, this person posts at this time, so I should be online at that time. So make sure you do that. The next thing, don't be afraid to ask them. So sometimes people are afraid to ask about it to the person that, oh, hi, are you looking for a freelance person, whatever your profession is, and that really takes away the opportunity. So just open up and ask right away, hey, how are you doing? I love your work and I'm following it for a very long time. I just wanted to ask, are you looking for someone to help you in the same, to handle your workload or anything? Just a connecting point, and ask them if they want to hire you, show them your samples and everything. The next thing, don't be too desperate. So when we say don't be too afraid to ask them, once you have asked it and they have replied to you, talk just like a normal person, like you're having a conversation. Don't be too desperate. So if they say, if they ghost you, say, and that's a very frustrating thing. And suppose you follow back after 3 days and then they didn't reply you. You follow back after 3 days again, then also they didn't reply you. You start getting frustrated and leave 10 to 12 message like, why are not replying to me? Why are you ghosting me? I just wanted to know if you have freelance gigs. Don't do things like that. You have to keep it professional and formal. They should not see you as someone who is desperate for work, but someone who is worthy of the work. Like they need you. Like, okay, you are helping them in creating great content, great videos, great profiles, brands, stories, whatever. Just don't be too desperate. Okay, next slide, Harshita. Don'ts of LinkedIn. So we know everything about LinkedIn now. Like for creating a freelancing profile, you can just follow all these actions and you can create a great profile with it. So what things you should not do? The first thing, obviously, don't add everyone who sends you requests. So if you are an SMM who handles the profile of only fashion brands, don't add tech brands to your portfolio unless you are willing to handle them as well. So if you have 1,000 requests, don't get overwhelmed by the number and think, oh, these are 1,000 requests, I should add all of them. No, you have to filter it out to the ones that fit your target audience so that your feed doesn't get too, overwhelmed with unnecessary data and only the important information gets to you. So if you add every request, you will miss out on the opportunity. Stay stagnant once you optimize. So after optimizing all your profile, remember that things change, new features are released, your business reaches new stages. Always keep updating your profile with new keywords, new information, and this can be done twice in 1 year, or for me I do it 3 months, once in 3 months or once in 2 months when I see new features rolled out on LinkedIn or new things that I can add to my portfolio on LinkedIn. The next thing, take inspiration but don't copy the headlines of others. So headlines of others is so the headlines of others should not be copied. For example, if I've written, just a minute. So for headlines, you can just add, if you are seeing someone who has written, I write B2B SaaS blogs that are well researched and have good facts, don't copy that. Don't copy that. Just take inspiration from it. Find some similar touch points and write them in your way. Write them in your way. Now, don't comment on everything. Now we know that engagement is important on LinkedIn, but you don't have to say nice, agreed, and comment on everything and leave too many comments everywhere because that's not you who we are looking to connect with. you you need to reply to everyone who comes back to you, and will not have the time if every person from every industry comes to you and leaves a DM in your space, and if you don't reply, it's obviously it's rude, someone is connecting to you. So make sure your connection is saturated, but only with the people that you are looking to connect with. So optimize your connection requests, your engagement as well. The next thing, avoid commenting nice, yes, agreed. Give valuable comments. If you're doing nice, yes, agreed. Oh, okay, that's a very generic response. Everybody does that. But why do you agree? Why is it nice? Why are you saying yes? Why are you not agreeing with the person? Give a counter, for every argument. So if you put a context in everything, people will have more points to connect with you. Next, leave hundreds of messages for someone to read. Like I said, don't be too desperate. Don't send too many messages in one array. Say hi, I love your profile. Wait for their response. They come back to you, then reply again. And one good tactic is to end every message with a question. So you can keep the conversation going, and in the midst you are also disseminating important information that clicks in the mind of the person and ensures that they know why you are talking to them. Like you are giving the purpose, but the person is getting it subliminally. You are not giving it directly. So yeah, and that's the don'ts of LinkedIn. And with that, the site is. I guess this was the last site, right, Sarajita? Okay, so thank you so much. And you can now ask any kind of question related to social media, LinkedIn, and you can also see my profiles on Twitter and LinkedIn. And connect with me. I would love to connect with all of you and address anything that you want.
Okay, Shreya, I have some questions for you, and
Yeah, sure.
I would like to ask that. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
on LinkedIn, how you got like started with content creation in your field? Like, there must be a thing key you have to create content for your fellow freelancers to educate them, or for the clients to educate them. Well, how you create a difference and then create a quality
Yeah.
content out there, so that if a client is visiting your profile, they get to know your skills better than like better through that content.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
when I started, like I said, you should have a goal. So my goal was first to help my freelancers. I like created three pillars.
Okay.
First was first was for my ideal clients. That would be B2B SaaS companies and executives. The second one was connected with my freelancers. So that was by sharing my journey. Third one was to create, show off my writing skills. So I write poems. That is
Okay.
something which is unique. Not everybody does that, and every poem is unique. So I have one thing that is creative, one thing that is connected, helping me create a community, and the third thing that is helping me get my ideal client. Why did I choose these three pillars? Ideal clients, I need not explain why I choose that, because I wanted to grow my freelance brand. Second one, when you are growing a freelance community, you are connecting with people who have already been in the field. So you can get a good word of mouth for your
Okay.
work by building the community. The third one, the creative thing is to show off your skills. And I choose these three pillars because, as I said, whatever your niche is, whatever your industry is, you need to be very specific to that. Everyone can write quotes from Instagram and from Google, but only few people can write their own learnings, right? Nobody can
Right.
mimic that. So, unique content with specific three or four pillars is the best way to start creating content on LinkedIn.
Okay, so how you started, like what were your pillars to exactly write the content on? Like you told about the target audience,
Yeah.
that were freelancers, and that were ideal clients of B2B SaaS companies. So what type of content you actually created, and on what base for the freelancers and for the clients?
So, for the ideal clients, what I did was whenever I was writing a new blog,
Huh.
if I find that this company is rolling out a new feature in B2B SaaS,
Hmm.
I made sure that I was the first to present it across my clients. So,
Okay.
if you are a B2B SaaS brand, you are missing out on content marketing trends of this quarter. And I mentioned those. I use the relevant hashtags. And that was something that I did through the statistics websites or following the executives in the Twitter space. So basically, you are collecting raw data and creating your own content in your own way, which aligns with your brand. So for freelancers, the best way to connect with your fellow freelancers is you tell them what you are going through in your journey, your failures, your wins, your whatever you learn. Like if some client is giving me good advice on writing, I make sure that I share it on my Twitter and LinkedIn. So
Okay,
in this way,
okay.
people know that we are not competition but a close knit community who are helping each other. The third thing, creativity. So for poems, I just chose creativity as a way to express myself on LinkedIn, since obviously LinkedIn has videos and everything you can do to it. So I made sure that I stick to poems because that is what I have the talent for. I can write. So I made sure that people saw that besides writing for SaaS brands, okay, she is also writing poems. So that is something creative. So if we want to write blogs, we take blogs from her, she can add a creative perspective from it too. So yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah. So Ayushi, I have a question.
Yes,
Like if someone wants to be a training copywriter, then how they can
yes.
search for potential opportunities? Because every entry level internship asks for 1 or 2 years of experience.
Yeah. So, Aisha, your question is really great. So, if you want to be a training copywriter, like I said, in LinkedIn, there are two ways in which you can get jobs. The first, obviously, is through the job section. The other one is through posts, and the third one, that is very, time consuming but has great results, is connecting with people and asking them. So the first thing is, if someone is asking in an internship for copywriting for 1 to 2 years of experience, what you can do is still apply to it, create some samples, like 3 to 4 samples, and put it on your LinkedIn profile and create some free resume of some kind, like from any free website. And you can just say to the person, "Hi, I don't have 1 to 2 years of experience, but I'm willing to learn, and I have good copywriting creating skills, and I can show myself if you give me, an opportunity." So things like that. You have to convince them. And besides that, you can find tons and tons of opportunities to write as a copywriter on LinkedIn. If you just search on the, search bar, hiring copywriters, and just see the post, you'll see they don't need experience, they just want to hire someone. So if you, filter out your search a bit and find the ideal matches, you can connect with them and ask them directly too. So these are some ways, and hope your question is, sorted now.
Great. Yeah. So we can wait for a minute more if anyone has any more
Yeah,
questions. We can answer. And yeah, you can see Shreya's IDs on the screen, Twitter and LinkedIn, so you can connect with her there. And if you're not comfortable asking any question here, you can directly ask her
yeah,
on
yeah, of
her
course.
DMs for sure. Okay, so I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Shreya, for actually giving us this your time and sharing all your experiences with us. Um, One thing I would like to ask you that what was your worst client experience through LinkedIn,
Yeah, yeah. So
if you have any?
yeah, yeah, I have one. It was a very, generic one. Many people go through that. So what happened is, when I was a new freelancer, I was very new.
Right.
So I was not aware that there are, frauds and scams on LinkedIn. I thought that
Okay.
was a thing on, obviously, Facebook groups, but I,
Huh,
because I
huh.
had gone through that one, but I didn't
Okay.
know it was a thing on LinkedIn because it was a professional platform and I just started like 1 to 2 weeks ago. So someone contacted me asking for a blog.
Okay.
Okay, they asked me for a sample. So I just sent them my samples. They said, okay, fine. I'm, sending you your advance payment. They sent me a screenshot and said, okay, it went through. Now please start writing this blog for me. I wrote that blog for them. It was complete. But the screenshot that they sent of the payment, it seemed legitimate, but I never received the payment. So then I got to know from some people that even on LinkedIn, what some people do, like the fraud people do, is they fabricate invoices to bait in freelancers. So if you're taking advance payments, just make sure it reaches your bank first, it reaches your account first before you start working on any project, because you are giving your time, your
Okay,
creativity
so
and everything
you
was.
received the screenshot, but you didn't receive the money.
Yeah, yeah. I never received it, and I was new. So what they told me, oh, the bank is processing it. It will reach you soon. You can start on the work meanwhile.
Okay, so matlab
And
that
my,
screenshot was
yeah,
fake.
yeah. I got to know it because some other one to two freelancers told me too that they went through it too. So this is the thing on LinkedIn, and the other thing is that you will get spam requests. Like people will, comment, message you, or if they find your number or email, they will spam you. So just try to ignore that aspect. If you don't want someone calling on your numbers, don't add your number. Just add your email. So
Right.
because some people add their number and then they start getting unknown calls on LinkedIn as well. It's very rare, but it does happen. So make sure you don't get into these things. And if you are, just block the person right away and report them. And yeah, one thing more. Though people will copy your content on LinkedIn, like they can copy you. So if you find a post that is very similar to like everything word to word copied, you can also bring it out to the notice of people and make sure that your authenticity is protected.
Right, got it, yeah. Um, okay, Anirudh and Rohan are thanking you for the session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joan. Thank you so much, Anirudh, and everybody else that is here. And was it was a great crowd to talk to, and I'm really grateful that Harshita created this session. So really, grateful.
Sure. So thank you everyone for joining in, and thank you Shreya for doing this session.
Thank
Tomorrow
you so
we
much.
would have our last session for the FIFA talk, like as of now, and
Yeah,
after that we'll see how that would go. But yeah, thank you for joining in today, and I would like to invite you for tomorrow's session. And I would
yeah,
love to see you as well, Shreya. If you have some time, do join in. And
yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend and bye bye.
Yeah, have a great day. Bye.